Let's pay homage to the Buddha, the fully enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. I will pay respect to the Buddha, reciting one of the stanza in my own language. Buddha bodhaya te te ti tantoyo dhammataya sa. Dhammataya tanto dhammante no vatranaya sa. Nibuddho nibbanataya tan lokatrananami. Lokatrano lokatumbai kozaya tasu pyato mudo. Yo nago Buddha naga miro yati asinde atutta chin myaswa phayadi. Buddha thissa lin kuro rai thu twin ti myin tor mu bi phit yue. Hodaya sa chuthai ta tu bobo lu ro ko tu thin lin ti ja pa se chin chu nga lagaung. Tanto kuro ga bin yin chi tor mu bi phit yue. Dhammataya sa chuthai ta tu bobo lu ro ko tu me yin yin chi ja se chin nga lagaung. Tanto kurai ga bin kilita upu khate e nyein tor mu bi phit yue. Dhammataya sa chuthai ta tu bobo lu ro ko tu me yin kilita pu nyein ja ba se chin nga lagaung. Dino wa tandaya na wan garachango. Kutan thau chao kuro dan yauk pi phit yue tha lien. Dharanaya sa kuro thatu chuthai tu ro nei bhuta wan ma ve kando. Kutan thau chao yauk ja ba se chin chu nga lagaung. Nibuddho kilita pranibban win san yuk te. Kuro rai e nyein tor mu bi phit yue. Nibbanataya sa kuro thatu we ne lu ro pu khate nyein ja ba se chin chu nga lagaung. Dhammam ne sin li na dhamma sakko. Te te di karuna she tha metta phit ho cha tor mu khet ba pe i. Lokatrana lokatumbai kozaya tasu phit tor mu do. Tanaga Buddha naga miro yati asinde atutta tu myaswa phyago. Nami namami kuno nalong thong song pyaung pyo. Mango sho yue gado myano la song mo yue. Shikho u nyo pa i myaswa phya myaswa phya.
Okay, Bhante, the first question. Dear Bhante, since you are highly respected by many foreign yogis, including myself, I would like to listen to your ways of wise attention, yoni so manasikara, in your daily life. Sometimes I can see that you are extremely busy, but somehow you keep mindfulness and never fail to send metta to all of us. How do you do this?
Do you think I'm very busy?
Yes.
Yes, I'm very busy. But I'm not happy being busy. I'm happy practicing meditation. For that reason, There is no day that I never practice meditation. Okay? Even though I'm busy, I have time to practice meditation. I find my time to practice meditation because this is our happiness. That's why if meditation practice becomes our life, you will see that there is no any other thing which is as good as meditation practice, as happy as meditation practice. If your mind inclined to practice meditation all the time, yes, you will be mindful, you will develop yoniso manasikara, which is wise attention. Whenever you have right conditions, out of the time you're being busy, it is the time for you to be mindful on your meditation object. Whether you're walking, whether you're lying, whatever you are doing, you must be mindful. Only then you can help yourself. Indirectly, you can help others too.
Bhante, the total number of the Buddha's Dharma discourses are estimated to be some 84,000, including 4,000 discourses given by his best disciples. His teachings can be summarized into 37 dharmas leading to enlightenment. According to the late Venerable U Sayadaw, the Buddha's teachings can be well summarized into one factor leading to enlightenment. He said it is sati, mindfulness. What is your view on this? And if this is the case, how would you advise us to keep sati in daily life while doing samatha practice? I'm asking you this because I myself experienced and felt, if not properly practiced with the right view and attitude, our practice of anapanasati can lead us into losing sati in daily life. I would like to listen to your noble view on this, please.
Whenever we do good deeds, all the good deeds are led by mindfulness. Without mindfulness, no one can do wholesome karma. Because of this reason, if we are doing wholesome actions, it means that we are being mindful at that time. If you are unmindful at that time, we are not doing wholesome. That's why even in our daily life, if we want to maintain wholesome state of mind, we all need to be mindful on the wholesome object, such as meditation objects, or any other wholesome objects too. Sati is very important. For the development of concentration, sati is the leading one. Without having developed continuous awareness on the object, we can't develop concentration. Not because we practice anapana, we lose mindfulness in our daily life. Just because we are not mindful, we are unmindful, that's why we lost mindfulness, sati, in our daily life. Those who train their mind to focus on the meditation object, even in their daily life, whatever they are doing, they can develop mindfulness. So without mindfulness, we can't develop concentration. Without mindfulness, we can't develop wisdom. Without developing wisdom, we can't expect to attain path and fruition. Mindfulness is for the realization of the Dhamma as they really are. What I meant, because of continuous awareness on the object, we develop concentration. Because of development of concentration, as the Buddha said, the one who is concentrated knows and sees the truth as they really are. That's why to know and to see the truth as they really are, we need concentration. To develop concentration, we need to be mindful all the time. at all times. Only then we can expect to realize the Dharma as they really are. We can expect to attain path and fruition knowledge in this very life.
Next, something that is a bit related. I was told by one Sayadaw in Myanmar that when samadhi becomes very deep, the mind can create some phenomena like nibbana that the mind strongly wants. If one experiences this phenomenon, couldn't he attain any insight knowledge?
Stay far away from nibbana. It is not real samadhi. If someone who attains strong and deep concentration, at the time their mind is very powerful, their mind is tranquil. If they practice concentration systematically according to the Buddha's words, there will be no confusion about their attainment of the absorption concentration. As they are practicing systematically the stage which is developing concentration, to know and to see the truth as they really are, they know they haven't penetrated any ultimate mentality and materiality causes and their effects. That's why they will not wrongly make any judgment for themselves. They understand in which stage they are. But if they don't practice systematically to develop concentration, they will be wrongly deceived by their practice too. That's why the important thing is to practice according to the Buddha's words and to follow the guidance of the teacher and to ask in times. Otherwise, you will encounter difficulty. Some say meditation practice, especially those who develop concentration, they can go crazy. Yes or no? Yes, me? If you practice concentration, you will know the truth as they really are. You will never go crazy. But just because of wrong judgment, just because of think highly oneself, without listening the words of the Buddha, just because of having no proper instructions from the teachers, because of this reason, mainly just because of think highly oneself, you may go crazy not because of the meditation, just because of your mind, your attitude.
So then, Bhante, for meditation practice, there's one subject called the recollection of the qualities of the Buddha, Buddhanusati. Is it a main subject or sub-subject to the practice in the studying program here at Pa'ao Toya?
So as the Buddha taught 40 types of samatha meditation, the time Buddha taught the second training, the training of concentration. Those who want to be samatha yanika, those who want to practice vipassana after developing absorption concentration, they need to choose one among 30 which can attain absorption jhana concentration. If they want to be vipassana yanika, pure vehicle insight meditators, they need to practice 4 elements meditation. So for those who practice Buddhanusati, they can attain just excess concentration. They can't attain absorption concentration. Because of this reason, we taught them only after developing Anapana 4th jhana, Vaikasina 4th jhana, we taught them 4 sublimes abiding, and then Buddhanusati, also repulsiveness meditation, Asubha Bhavana, and recollection of the death, Marananusati. Just because, without having developed concentration, if they practice Buddhanusati, most of the meditators, they encounter difficulty. If someone practices Metta meditation directly, it is not easy to maintain the objects which is beings. Because of this reason, only after having developed concentration, we teach them. It is just for their benefit. They can practice very easily after developing any deep concentration. For that reason, if you want to practice Buddhanusati, at first, possible, but for sure you will encounter difficulty to develop concentration. Only after developing anapana or any absorption concentration, if you continue other remaining 39 types of samatha meditation, it will be easy for you.
Bhante said that Buddhanusati can only give assess concentration. Why is that so? Why can't Buddhanusati give absorption concentration?
As a quality of Buddha cannot be realized, cannot be understood deeply by all of us, as we are just ordinary human beings. We can't understand the qualities of Buddha as the Buddha understand their qualities. Because of this reason, it is impossible to attain absorption concentration. We can't understand deeply the qualities of the Buddha. This is the reason.
Bhante, this questioner asks, when I'm stuck with mindfulness breathing practice, can I practice mindfulness on recollection of the qualities of the Buddha instead?
Pardon?
When I'm stuck with mindfulness of breathing, anapanasati, can I practice Buddhanusati instead?
What is your main object? If your main object is anapana meditation, mindfulness of breathing meditation, you should engage practicing on the mindfulness of breathing meditation almost all the time. I taught or I gave suggestion to some meditators, those whose mind is not calm at the beginning, to make the mind calm, to radiate metta at the beginning as a good preparation to make the mind calm. This is one choice. Another one, to do recollection of the Buddha to make the mind calm too. By doing so, if they notice the mind is calm, they can start anapana meditation directly at that time. If you practice anapana, your main object must be anapana, not the Buddhanusati. You can do some time to make the mind calm.
Okay. The questioner also asked, after how long of practicing Buddhanusati should he or she focus back on her breath or his breath? So that's only after the mind is calm? Okay. And next question. Another questioner asked, I don't attain any jhanas. Can I practice the 4 protective meditation to support anapanasati?
As I told you, it is possible, but if you are the one who didn't practice 4 protective meditation in the past successfully, if you start directly this 4 protective meditation in this very life, you will encounter difficulty even to maintain the objects. For that reason, it depends on your past accumulated parami. If your parami is strong enough to do so, it is easier to do so. So which is easy, which is difficult, depends on your parami. So in general, if we develop anapana concentration or any other absorption concentration, only after that, if you continue any other samatha meditation, there will be no difficulty for you.
Another related question. I was told that some yogis practice kasina meditation instead of anapanasati. In what case would it be beneficial? In addition, I would like to know the difference in their characteristics. That means the differences in the characteristics between anapanasati and kasina meditation. And if the yogi wants to do so, would it be possible for him to shift to kasina meditation?
It is possible. We taught meditators mindfulness of breathing meditation, especially to all the beginners. The reason is, since we were born, we are breathing. Breathing is with us. It is the object which is with us all the time. For other meditation objects, most of them, they are not with us. We need to create. Because of this reason, we taught all the beginners mindfulness of breathing meditation. So after a certain time, spending a certain period or a few months, if you could not practice mindfulness of breathing meditation successfully, and if you encounter difficulty even to maintain focusing on the breath, at the time, we consider to teach other meditation objects such as kasina meditation or 4 elements meditation. It is just the options. But some, after changing Vipassana meditation, they could successfully develop concentration with the Vipassana meditation just because of their past accumulated karma. So if you are such person, you will be able to practice Kasina meditation successfully. And what is the difference between Anapana and Vipassana? Both are concept. The object of mindfulness of breathing meditation, the object of Kasina meditation, they are just concept. They are not the ultimate reality. But Anapana meditation is focusing on the inhaling and exhaling. It is related to our body. It is internal object. For Kasina meditation, it is external object. You must pay attention somewhere in front of you. But for Anapana, you need to focus on the breath from where it is touching. At a certain place on the nostril, or somewhere around the nostril, or on the upper lip. This is the difference between.
Okay, shift away from meditation for a while. How long is the time taken for us to go from death to rebirth in the next life?
We can't say how long, just only one mind movement. After death consciousness, rebirth linking consciousness arises. There is no gap between, according to the Buddha's Abhidhamma.
Does the being's life start from the time when the egg and the sperm contact, or only at the time of birth? For example, for human beings, the time of birth is after about 9 months of conception. So when is the start of the being's life?
At the time of rebirth linking consciousness time, when mentality and materiality started in the mother womb, the beginning stage, it is the time, the life of a being starts, not only after taking birth.
So we can say that it's the time when the egg and the sperm come together.
Yes.
So if we cannot be reborn yet, is the state of consciousness known as ghost?
No. Whatever beings we are, whether humans, whether animals, whether celestial beings, whether Brahma beings, before death consciousness, there will be near-death moment. What is the last object that appeared at the near-death moment? It decides our destiny to go. If it is wholesome, we are able to be reborn in a good realm. If it is bad karma that appear at the near-death moment, which is the last object, if it is a bad one, unwholesome karma, it decides our destiny to be reborn in a bad realm. So, the question is?
If we cannot be reborn yet.
There is... Now I think you understand.
Okay. So the next question is, then can I choose rebirth according to my choice?
Yeah, when you became Sotapanna, when you attain first path and fruition knowledge, at least, if you attain first path and fruition knowledge, you will be the one who is able to choose your future existences as you wish.
Okay, then when we die, what can we carry with us when we die?
Pardon?
What can we carry with us when we die?
You can carry just your wholesome deeds and unwholesome deeds that you have done, nothing else.
Okay.
They are very faithful. The good karma that you have accumulated, the bad karma that you have accumulated, they will give their results in the future at a certain time when karma ripens. They are very faithful. They will give their results. They will not do the different thing. Bad karma give bad results. Good karma gives good results. in the giving of good results according to good karma, and in the giving of bad results according to bad karma, is very faithful. If you want to make friends with someone who is faithful, please make friend with your karma. Okay?
Thank you. So one way of accumulating good karma is to keep precepts. So when we undertake to observe precepts, is there a difference between taking the precepts from a Bhante versus just reciting the precepts ourselves without a Bhante?
According to the condition, if you have right conditions to take precepts from any Sayadaw or any Sangha, as you respect the Bhikkhu Sangha, you will respectfully observe. If there is right condition, you should do that way. If there is no right condition, where there is no Bhikkhu Sangha, you want to practice morality at that time, you can do by yourself, in front of the Buddha or anywhere.
But would there be a difference?
Important thing is to observe morality purely. This is the main essence.
So, a bit more details into the precepts. If I kill in order to protect myself from being killed, am I breaking my precept?
Yes.
If I tell lies because this lie can save someone from death, do I break my precepts?
Yes.
Even if I do it with good intention?
Telling lies is telling lies. Good intention is good intention. These two are not the same. One is good intention, another is telling lies. They will give different results.
Can Bhante please elaborate them?
Telling lies with good intention to do for the good of those who are going to encounter dukkha, those who are going to suffer. Understanding this, seeing this, with the intention to protect them from doing bad deeds. We tell something untrue. Telling untrue is telling lies. So, doing something with good intention, this is good karma. Okay? Because with good intention, he or she does. Because Buddha said, I declare intention as karma. I declare volition as karma. If we do with good intention, so this will be good karma, but surrounded by bad karma.
So mixed karma.
Mixed karma.
So if I tell the truth, but this truth may lead to someone's, or will lead to someone's death or harm, or will lead one to kill or harm another, do I still need to tell the truth?
No. At one time, one man approached the Buddha and expressed his idea. It is Vasakara Brahmin, what I remember. He has this idea, this opinion. I say as I see, because it is true. That's why I say as I see. I say as I heard, because it is true. That's why I say as I heard. I say as I knew, because it is true. That's why I say as I knew. How about Buddha's opinion? He asked the Buddha. Buddha said, I have no such idea. I have no such opinion. Even though I see, because I see, it is true. If I say as I see, I say the truth. If I say as I know, because I say something as I know, it is true. But I didn't say that we must say as we see. I have no such opinion to say as we heart, to say as we know. If by saying, by telling it, if it is beneficial for oneself and others, I say that thing. If it is not beneficial for oneself and others, I will not say even though I see as it is. Okay? What the Buddha meant, we need to know the right time, the right place, and the right person to say the truth. If it is not beneficial for oneself and others, if it is not the right time to say, if it is harmful to oneself and others, if it is not for the benefit of oneself and others, even though it is true, we should not say that thing. There may be the right time, or there will be a time we know that it is the right time to say at that time. We should say, but sometime for the rest of our life, we become aware that better without saying that thing anymore to anyone, it is beneficial at that time. Even it is true, we should keep quiet. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Bhante. If we pick something up from the road, is it considered stealing? Does the thing on the road belong to anyone?
What is stealing? Stealing is taking others' properties. Knowingly, you take it. You know that it is of someone. There is its owner. Knowingly, if you take it, it is stealing. Something that others don't give to you. If you take it, it is stealing. Also, it depends on your intention too. Just by taking it will not be stealing. If you have intention to steal it, it will be stealing. For example, you just have a look. It is not stealing. But be careful. When you are having a look, sometimes the desire may arise in you. Oh, very good. If it is mine, it will be good. Okay? At that time, your mind may incline to take it or to steal it. For that reason, without asking permission from others, we should not take a look or we should not touch. If there is no owner, there may be those who accompany us. My friend, I want to have a look. Please allow me to have a look. If we do like this, it is better. But what now you ask is something that we see on the road. So you should develop this attitude. You should have this attitude. Now, I see this. Maybe someone has lost it on the way, or someone dropped it. I will keep it with me. If someone appears and tell me what he had lost, and if it is of him or her, I will give it back to him. After taking or spending certain time, if nobody appears at that time, you can use.
So can Bhante give an example of how long after a certain amount of time, like how long would it then not be anymore?
For example, we bhikkhus are not allowed to touch gold, yes, and jewels. But sometime lay devotee visited us, and unknowingly or accidentally, they forgot something in our kuti. At that time, not with the wish to touch gold and the jewels, just with this intention, to keep it. Because later Bodhi may come back and ask. At that time, if you don't keep it well, they will wrongly make judgment. They may accumulate unwholesome karma. Because of this reason, we should keep it somewhere with the intention to give it back if they come and ask. Okay, so how long it will take, we don't know. Finally, if nobody comes, we will inform those senior. This happened in my kuti. How to do with it? At that time, they will make some decision. Okay? So group discussion can make proper decision. So at that time, we should do something. How long we should wait, it is what we can't say.
So pertaining to stealing, still, if someone takes the cushion, blanket, mats, etc., which I'm using in the meditation hall without asking for my permission, and after that, I take them back also without asking for their permission, do I break any rules?
If the person took it away, thinking that this is for general use, this is for all the meditators, so he or she has no intention to steal it. Just she thought that this is for meditators to use in the meditation hall. If it is so, if you think, oh, it is mine, if you go and take it, I think it will be fine. Because if the first person who took it with the intention to take it as his own, if you go and take it, this is not a way. Okay? If someone has stolen Bhikkhu's thing in the Vinaya, we knew someone has taken. We can't go and take it. It is no more ours. It is already theirs. So if we take it by our own will, this is breaking the precepts. So we should not do like this. Okay?
So in this case, is it allowable for the person, the questioner, to approach the person who took his belongings to clarify?
Yeah, better.
So as we need to live harmoniously together, if we know that a wholesome deed that we are going to do will cause unwholesome mind states in others, should we avoid doing it?
Buddha taught to do good. Buddha taught not to do bad. If we are going to do good, it is what praised by the wise, Buddha and all the noble persons. We must do good things. For those who felt unhappy seeing doing good, it is just because of their unwise attention. It is what they need to improve themselves. You must continue doing. For sure that person will change her mind or his mind one day. You need to keep going. You need to keep doing something good for the rest of your life.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is about Angulimala. Even after the serial killer Angulimala became an arahant, he was often reviled at and verbally abused by the relatives and friends of the 999 people killed by him. When these people see Angulimala, anger and hatred may also arise in their minds. What will be the undesirable results of such actions done to an arahant?
Yes, as the Angulimala had killed a lot of people, he made a lot of family members suffer. Because of this reason, the time he started ordaining, When the people knew that this is the one who had killed their family members, they felt very angry. So they throw at him with stone and stick. But it is in the beginning, the first part of his ordained life. Later, Buddha formulated Angulimala stanza to help those who are pregnant women, very difficult to give birth. By reciting this stanza, they overcome their problem. So, because he chose to live ordained life, he gave up the life of murderer. Because of this reason, gradually people's mind changed. And then they behave towards the Angulimala, and they accept him as the Bhikkhu. Because of this reason, they have accumulated opposite karma in their life. I believe, even though we didn't see any explanation in the text, they have made apology to the Angulimala when they knew the qualities of the Angulimala. Okay?
So before the Angulimala stanza was formulated, when the people were still angry with him, how can they appease and remove hatred and anger in their minds? And similarly, how can we do that in our daily life? And another related question is, this questioner says that she has been very seriously hurt by another person or something, and whenever she sees this person, the mind will be filled with great terror. How can she remove the fear in her mind? So it's how to remove fear and how do we remove hatred and anger in our mind?
As I noticed about the Angulimala and those who concern, only at the beginning they felt very angry towards him. But what I understand, it didn't take long time because he chose ordained life, also all his behavior, all his manners, all his appearance changed because of this reason. As those people whose family members has been killed by the Angulimala, if they are not Buddhist, they may accumulate bad karma more and more. But if they are Buddhist, as they have faith on Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, as they have seen many, those who enter the order, those who have changed their lives from ordinary to the noble ones, those whose qualities of the mind has been improved, as they have seen many in the order of the Sangha, I believe they can quickly change their mind. But for those who don't know the Dhamma, even towards a Buddha, they may not be able to see in a right way. And so it depends on the religion that they have faith. If they have right knowledges, especially Buddhists are those who learn a lot from the teachings of the Buddha, who learn a lot of right knowledges. Because of this reason, they can develop forgiveness. But if you can't develop forgiveness, I will share with you how to develop forgiveness. As I told some of my disciples, if you see someone do something wrong, If we met with someone who has done something wrong, for sure we will be angry with that person. If we think about a person as the one who did wrong, we can't forgive that person. If we want to develop forgiveness towards oneself and others, we need to find the actual cause of doing wrong action. If we see the real cause, the actual cause of doing wrong, we can forgive a person. As I have told all of you, it is not because we are born as humans we become wise. It is not because we are born as humans we become stupid. It is just because we can bring defilements under control, we become a wise man. It is because we can't bring defilements under control, we become stupid. In our life, there was a time we could not bring defilements under control. For that reason, we have done wrong. Is there nobody who had never done wrong? There isn't. There isn't. So that's why there was a time we can't bring defilements under control. That's why we have done wrong. There were many occasions too, in which we could bring defilements under control. Because of this reason, we didn't do wrong actions at that time. That's why if we see the actual cause of wrongdoing, we will feel pity oneself and towards others too. Why? People do wrong because of having no control over the defilements. People do wrong because they listen the instructions of the defilements. Because of the instructions of the defilements, because they could not bring defilements under control, they do wrong. They did wrong. They're going to do wrong too. If someone has done something wrong, when we met with such person and when we see such persons, we want to punish that person. We want to take actions towards that person. This is the way most of the people want to do. Actually, someone who has done something wrong is someone who is going to suffer due to his wrong actions. That's why he is a pitiful or she is a pitiful person. There is no punishment, no need punishment. Actually, their karma will punish him or her. Also, another point of view. If we see someone do something wrong, it is his or her wrong actions. It is not ours. At that time, we need right attitude. The unwholesome karma of others should not be ours. The bad of others should not be ours. Because of seeing someone do something wrong towards us or our beloved ones, if we take actions, we have accumulated bad karma. It means that we take the bad of others to be ours. Because of this reason, in our life, we should train not to take the bad of others to be ours. Also, as I told all of you, The cause of wrongdoing is defilements. And if we can see, if we can observe the actual cause of wrong action, we can forgive that person because we see the actual cause, which is the defilements, not the person. If we think a person is someone who did wrong, we can never forgive that person. But if we see the actual cause of wrongdoing, we can forgive a person. Instead of taking action, if we are mature enough, we want to give suggestion to that person not to do like this in the future. Because of this reason, what I want all of you to do, it is what we all need to do, whether we're young, whether old, whether meditators, whether bhikkhus. We all need to train our mind to be skillful in the habits of our own mind. If we know the habits of our mind, we will know the actual cause of wrongdoing. When we know more the actual cause of all the actions, good and bad, when someone does something wrong at that time, we understand that the actual cause of wrongdoing is not that person, just because of having no skill in the habits of his or her own mind. He or she did obey the instructions of the defilements. So when we become skillful in the habits of our own mind, we come to know the actual causes of all the bodily and verbal actions that when we really understand with oneself, when we are very skillful in the habits of our own mind, we become skillful in the habits of others' mind too at that time. We can separate the actual cause and a person. At that time, we can develop forgiveness towards someone who did something wrong just because of not knowing how to bring defilements under control. Okay.
Thank you. The Buddha teaches us the three trainings, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So it is called the beginning, middle, and the end. So what are the factors that enable the disciples to fulfill their trainings in the beginning, middle, and the end?
Please repeat.
The Buddha teaches us the three trainings, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So it is called the beginning, the middle, and the end. So what are the factors that enable the disciples to fulfill their trainings in all these three, beginning, middle, and the end?
If we are the disciples of the Buddha, if we are those who want to realize the Dharma as they really are, if we are those who want to attain path and fruition, if we are those who want to make liberation, if we are those who want to make an end of suffering, we need to practice these three trainings systematically, step by step. The training of morality is the beginning. The training of concentration is the middle. And the training of insight is the end. Okay? As the beginning is good, the middle also good. Also, the end also good too. So if we practice morality, it will be for the purification of bodily and verbal actions. If we practically practice the training of morality, we come to know the training of morality cannot make the purity of mind. It can make the purity of bodily and verbal actions. It makes the purity of two actions among three. So for that reason, for those who want to make the purity of mind, they are not satisfied with the first training. As they want to make the purity of mind, they need to continue the second training, the training of concentration. The training of concentration can make the purity of mind, but not permanently, just temporarily only. Suppose if someone can enter absorption concentration for 1 hour continuously, the mind is pure for 1 hour continuously. Suppose a person could enter absorption jhana concentration for 2 hours or 3 hours. His or her mind will be pure for 2 hours or 3 hours continuously. But emerging from the absorption concentration, if he or she looks outside, look at this and that, unwisely at that time, unwholesome states of mind arise again. Because of this reason, the purity of mind that can be developed through practicing the second training is just temporarily. As the Buddha said, the one who is concentrated will know and will see the truth as they really are. After having developed concentration, if he or she practice the third training, the training of insight, after knowing and seeing the ultimate mentality, materiality, causes and their effects, as they are arising and perishing rapidly all the time, seeing the arising and perishing of ultimate mentality, materiality, causes and their effects, if they contemplate impermanence, suffering, non-self, many times repeatedly, at a certain time, insight knowledges will mature. With the maturing of the insight knowledge, path knowledge will arise. Path knowledge will remove defilements step by step without remainder. At that time, the purity of mind will be developed permanently with the attainment of path and fruition. That's why one training helps another. We all need to practice these 3 trainings systematically.
Bhante talked about the removal of the factors by Sotapanna. So is there a case where even Sotapanna does not clearly know what factors he has removed?
Those who engage practicing meditation, those who want to practice meditation diligently are those who know the benefit of practicing meditation. Those who have knowledges about the practicing meditation and the teachings of the Buddha. Those who engage practicing are those who want to realize the Dharma as they really are. Especially those who could practice meditation well are those who come into this existence with good bharami. If they practice meditation systematically according to the teachings of the Buddha, at a certain time, because of realizing the truth as they really are, sense of urgency arose in them. Sense of urgency is very important. It is the driving force to engage practicing meditation. It is for the realization of the Dharma as they really are. As they have sense of urgency, they will practice meditation diligently until they attain path and fruition knowledge. At least they know what the first path knowledge can remove. Okay? Only what they may not know sometime is the time they have attained path and fruition. What I meant, meditators know that their mind break through to the another shore where there is no arising and perishing. Before they break through, before they reach to another shore, they could contemplate impermanence, suffering, non-self, seeing the arising and perishing of conditional Dhamma. They can dwell only in this shore where there is arising and perishing. Before the insight knowledge is mature, they can't cross to another shore. It is not their concern. It is what they can't imagine. But when they experience Nibbana, when they crossed to the another shore, what they experienced is the cessation of all the conditioned Dhamma, which is ultimate mentality, materiality, causes and their effects. At that time, if they have no learning knowledge, they may not be able to understand what it is. But whenever they want to enter, they can enter. Whenever they want to experience, they can experience. As they know, it is totally different where there is arising and where there is no arising and perishing. Where there is dukkha, where there is no dukkha. That's why they will enter often, whenever they want. But if they learn under the guidance of the teacher will guide them what to do. At that time, they will understand.
Thank you. Since we touched on this, please kindly describe Parinibbana. What is Parinibbana? And what knowledge or experience leads to Parinibbana?
Parinibbana is taking final Nibbana. There are two kinds. One is Kilesa Parinibbana, another is Khandha Parinibbana. As you all know, the Bodhisattva, the Buddha to be, attained full enlightenment on the full moon day of Kasung, under the Bodhi tree. With the attainment of fourth path and fruition, that fourth path knowledge remove all the defilements without remainder. It is the time he take Kilesa Parinibbana. He take the cessation of defilements, kilesa. But his lifespan is not yet finished. Because of this reason, he need to continue his life, doing for the good of many. According to their lifespan, according to the lifespan of the Arahant, they will continue their existences as the Arahant, waiting the time you take final Nibbana. The day they take final Nibbana, it is Khandha Parinibbana. They take the cessation of Khandha. It is Khandha Parinibbana. So, Parinibbana means taking Khandha Parinibbana. There will be no more existences.
So what knowledge and experience lead to parinibbana?
Only after attaining fourth path and fruition, waiting the time to take final nibbana.
If a lay person attains arahantship, does he or she need to ordain, or does he or she need to enter into parinibbana immediately? There was an old lady who attained arahantship but did not ordain in the Buddha's time.
I don't know who that one is. According to the Buddha's teaching, a lay person who attained arahantship, if he or she doesn't enter the order, he would take final nibbana on that day. Okay? Because the attainment of arahantship is not suitable to continue as a lay person. They need to enter the order. Because the quality of the arahant is not suitable to continue as a lay person. They need to enter the order immediately. Okay? Otherwise, they will take nibbana on that day. Okay?
Does the male or female lust stop for an arahant? That means when one becomes an arahant, does lust, the female male kind of lust, does that stop?
Yes.
What factors make disciples fall from the path? What are the factors that can make a disciple fall from the path?
Oh. For the realization of the Dhamma and to be able to continue meditation practice for the realization of the Dhamma, not to fall from the path, not to slip away from the path. Sense of urgency, samvega, these are very important. And also, we need right knowledges. If we have right knowledges, the more right knowledges we have, the more we appreciate the teachings of the Buddha. Falling from the path, it may be giving up or stopping practicing meditation, but not giving up the teachings of the Buddha. Okay? Some, they come and practice due to their meditation practice and due to their condition. They may go back to their country. According to their life condition, they may also go back to their country at a certain time. Giving up is very wide. What does she mean? Okay? Also falling from the path. I think not because of practicing, we can't say he fall from the path. But if the questioner meant the Eightfold Noble Path, if he or she is not practicing meditation, if he or she is spending his or her lifetime as a lay person doing worldly things, at that time he is not on the path. Okay? Even there may be many ordained persons, those who are not on the path. Okay? That's why it depends on their sense of urgency.
Bhante, how can we fulfill the 10 paramis when we talk to others?
I didn't remember in which year I have explained about how to fulfill Barami in daily life.
2012, 1st of January.
Hey? 2012, 1st of January, on the New Year Day. Oh, I forgot really.
So 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So the question is how to fulfill Parami when we
the
talk.
10 paramis when we talk to others.
Okay, if we know how to fulfill Bharami, how to fulfill 10 paramis, even when we speak, even when we do some other things, if we know it is possible to fulfill 10 paramis, it is possible to fulfill 10 paramis whatever we do in our life, but we all need to understand how to fulfill them. So now the question is how to fulfill Bharami, how to fulfill 10 Bharamis when we speak. So as the Buddha said, if we speak or if we tell, we must tell the truth. If we talk about fulfilling the Bharami, we talk about doing good, not doing bad. Those who want to fulfill the Bharami are those who want to do good. Without doing good, it is impossible to fulfill the Bharami. For that reason, those who want to fulfill the Bharami are those whose mind must incline to do good all the time. For that reason, someone who is going to speak must speak something true. If he or she is telling the truth, he is practicing, fulfilling the perfections of morality. Perfections of morality, one of them is refraining from telling lies. Someone who is refraining from telling lies is someone who is fulfilling perfections of truth, Satya Bharami. Someone who tells the truth is someone who do for the good of oneself and others. Someone who has well wishes for oneself and others. Someone who fulfills the perfections of loving kindness. Someone who tells the truth is someone who fulfills the perfections of morality. Someone who tells the truth is someone who fulfills the perfection of loving kindness and the perfection of Satyatu. Someone who tells the truth all the time, he will be the one who will refrain from killing. The time he is telling the truth, he is not killing. Okay? He refrains from killing. The time someone tells the truth, he refrains from stealing. He refrains from sexual misconduct. He refrains from harsh speech, backbiting, useless talk. And also he refrains from taking intoxicants. That's why I told all of you, someone who tells the truth is someone who is fulfilling the perfections of morality. There are two types of giving. A gift of materiality and a gift of fearlessness. Abhaya dana. If someone make an offering, such as food, material thing, they just make a gift of materiality. But someone who practices morality is someone who gives a gift of fearlessness. He refrains from killing. He gives a gift of fearlessness. As he refrains from stealing, he gives a gift of fearlessness. As he refrains from sexual misconduct, he gives a gift of fearlessness. As he refrains from telling lies, refrains from taking intoxicants, he gives a gift of fearlessness. That's why the one who tells the truth is the one who fulfills the perfections of giving to. How many perfections?
4.
Dana, Sila, Sacha, Metta.
Who can tell the truth? The one who knows the benefit of telling the truth. Okay? If he or she doesn't know the benefit of telling the truth, he will not do. He cannot do. That's why the one who is telling the truth is the one who is fulfilling the perfections of wisdom. To tell the truth, we must make much effort. Do you agree with it? We must make much effort. That's why we are fulfilling perfections of energy, perfection of effort. When we tell the truth, at that time, we must make resolving, not to tell lies, just to tell the truth. We must be determined. If you are not determined, how can we sustain? How can we maintain our goodness? That's why if we are telling the truth, we can fulfill the perfection of determination, adhitthana parami. Also, you all know how much we practice khandi to tell the truth. Okay? We must practice patience to be able to tell the truth. That's why if you tell the truth, you fulfill the perfection of patience. Also, when you tell the truth, you must develop equanimity towards many. Because of telling the truth, there may be many those who dislike. There may be many those who hate on the spot. But in the long run, they appreciate you very much. They admire you very much. That's why on the spot, whoever tell the truth, on the spot, they will meet with many bad reactions. At that time, we must develop equanimity towards both good and bad. So we fulfill the perfections of equanimity. Complete? Not yet one. Perfections of renunciation. Okay, perfection of renunciation. So what is renunciation? What is perfection of renunciation? Nikkhamma. Giving up. Attachment to living and non-living things. So there are two ways of giving up. Giving up attachment to living and non-living things, and giving up the desire to do something according to the instructions of the defilements. Okay? So the utmost goal of practicing meditation is to remove all the defilements. This is giving up all the defilements. To tell the truth, we must give up. Okay? We must give up the instructions of the defilements. We must give up the habit of listening the instructions of the defilements. For that reason, we fulfill the perfection of renunciation the time we tell the truth. Do you see? That's why if you understand this, whatever you do in your life, if you do good, you can fulfill Bharami or 10 Bharami. It is a way leading to Nibbana.
Thank you, Bhante. Bhante mentioned earlier, if you tell the truth, people may not like it. Is that not choosing the right time?
Sometimes it is the right time. But as the Buddha said, Buddha say only two types of statements. What is true, beneficial, and others like. Another one, true, beneficial, but other dislike. Okay? So we must choose this sometime. Even though the one who we are going to tell the truth, on the spot, he may dislike it. But we understand that in the future, he will appreciate very much. It will benefit him in the future. Understanding the future benefit, sometime we need to say, the truth. Okay?
Thank you very much, Bhante. Can Bhante please kindly explain the 7 factors of enlightenment?
There are 7 enlightenment factors. Sati Sambojjhanga, the enlightenment factor of mindfulness. Another Dhamma Vijaya Sambojjhanga. It is the enlightenment factor of investigation of the phenomena. The third one is Viriya Sambojjhanga, the enlightenment factor of effort. Another Piti Sambojjhanga, the enlightenment factor of joy. The fifth one is Passaddhi Sambojjhanga, the enlightenment factor of tranquility. Number 6, Samadhi Sambojjhanga, the enlightenment factor of concentration. 7, the last one is Ubbekha Sambojjhanga, the enlightenment factor of equanimity. It is important to balance the 7 enlightenment factors for the attainment of Nibbana. Even the time we practice Anapana meditation, sometimes we need to balance these enlightenment factors. As yogi is developing concentration, the Sati Sambojjhanga is the most important factor. The enlightenment factor of mindfulness is the most important factor for those who want to develop concentration. That's why they need to develop the enlightenment factor of mindfulness the time they develop concentration. Also, they need to develop right effort. It is the enlightenment factor of the effort. How can we balance the enlightenment factor of the effort? If the mind is active, effort becomes excessive too. That's why if the mind is active, we don't know how to balance the enlightenment factor of effort. We can't develop right effort if the mind is active. For that reason, without explaining to any of my disciples, I always suggested all the meditators, those who have no calm mind, to make the mind calm at the beginning of the meditation. If the mind is calm, the breathing becomes natural. If the mind is calm, you can focus on the natural breath. When the mind becomes calm, the breath becomes natural. That if you know on the natural breath, you are making right effort. You balance the enlightenment factor of mindfulness and the enlightenment factor of the effort. If you can balance these two, along the way you develop concentration, you will see the improvement of concentration. And then Passaddhi will come. Okay? And then Piti will come. Okay? Also Ubbekha also need to be developed. The enlightenment factor of the equanimity. When meditators could focus well longer time on the meditation object, Anapana, in-breath and out-breath, they feel bodily and mentally pleasant feeling. Most of the meditators, almost all, they enjoy that pleasant feeling. So they participate with it, they pay attention on it, they forgot to maintain focusing on the in-breath and out-breath. At the time, their concentration drops. Okay? So at the time, they need to develop the enlightenment factor of the equanimity. So this is the way you all need to balance. But the most important one is the enlightenment factor of mindfulness and effort. If you can balance these two, you will see the improvement. But for other conditions, there may be those enlightenment factors need to be balanced more. Need to develop some of the enlightenment factors and should not emphasize on other enlightenment factors. It is according to the condition. I think it is good enough.
Bhante, what about investigation of phenomena?
Investigation, yes, this is related to wisdom. Okay? So it is also important. Yeah, I forgot to explain about it. This is very important too. If you know the right time to use or to develop the enlightenment factor of investigation, it will help you for the realization of the Dharma, for the improvement of your meditation practice too. Along the way, we practice Anapana meditation. We need to balance the way we focus, the way we make an effort. Understanding how to focus on the object, how to keep your mind on the meditation object is the work of the enlightenment factor of investigation. But some meditators, they have a lot of doubt. They investigate too much. Whether I'm focusing naturally, whether I'm putting too much effort, whether my breathing is natural, whether I'm controlling my breath. Too much investigation, it disturbs a lot. If they do so, they cannot develop concentration. That's why we need to balance, knowing the right time. If we can focus on the object well longer time, no need to do with this enlightenment factor. Okay? This is wisdom.
Okay, something different. How can we share merits with our departed relatives? If the person we want to share merits with is not reborn as the particular type of ghost which can receive our merits, how then can we share merits with him when he is reborn in other realms?
Those departed ones, mostly we share merits not very long after they passed away. Mostly we remember, we are being aware of to share merits to the departed ones after they passed away. As I have told all of you, if someone dies after death consciousness, they take rebirth according to their karma in a good or in a bad realm. If they are taking conception in the human mother womb, how much you share, they cannot rejoice. It is not the realm from which they can rejoice. If they are reborn, fully formed body in the celestial realm, how much you share merits. If they enjoy there, okay, if they are unaware of your sharing merits, they cannot rejoice. Also, even though they rejoice, they cannot upgrade their life because their existence is already very good. According to their karma, they enjoy their pleasures, okay, their sensual pleasures, their happiness. So, hell beings, even though you share merits with the intention for the departed one, suppose they fall to the hell, how much you share merits, they can't rejoice. So if they take rebirth in the Brahma realm, they can't rejoice your sharing merits done. Even those who take rebirth in the ghost realm, not all the ghosts can rejoice, just one type of ghost. Pradatupa Jivika Peta, who depends on others sharing merits done. Okay? So only when they hear our sharing merits done, and if they can rejoice at that time, that rejoicement can help them to be able to be reborn in a good realm. But because of sharing merits, whoever hear, whether humans, whether Deva, if they rejoice, they could get the opportunity to accumulate wholesome karma. They may be not your relatives. They may be those who knows how to rejoice, sharing merits done by others. Okay?
So besides sharing our merits from dana, generosity, can we also share the merits from keeping of precepts and from our meditation practice?
This is just sharing merits done. We can share merits, all the wholesome karma that we have accumulated, even to each other. If someone who here, you are sharing merits on the spot, if he rejoices, or if she rejoices, at the time he can accumulate wholesome karma.
What is the standard we use to differentiate between desirable objects, undesirable objects, and neutral objects?
Those whose minds are filled with defilements are those who can't really understand what is desirable and undesirable in the ultimate sense. They think what they like is desirable. They think what they dislike is undesirable. Okay? Sometimes something good, something really desirable, they think it is undesirable. Because they rely very much on like and dislike. Also, even from the ultimate point of view, what is desirable, what is undesirable is something difficult to make judgment by our own understanding. But some may understand there are two registration mind, the dharamana. Whether the object we take is desirable or undesirable, decided by the registration mind. Okay? So even sometimes we like thinking that it is desirable. In the dharamana, it is unwholesome. It means that that object is undesirable. Anatta. Sometimes we may feel dislike on the desirable object. Etaramana. It is just because of our perception and our unwise attention. But in the dharamana, in the registration mind, it will be wholesome. Registration mind is the resultant mind movement. That's why desirable and undesirable, to differentiate which one is desirable, which one is undesirable, sometimes it is possible. Sometimes due to our attachment, sometimes due to our emotion, sometimes due to our perception, sometimes due to our like and dislike. Toby tene.
Okay, Toby. So, for people with a lot of conceit, mana, is it more difficult for them to have mudita, sympathetic joy, as the objects are people who are successful? Or is it easier for them to have karuna as their objects are unfortunate and suffering beings?
Someone whose conceit is very strong. Someone whose mana, conceit, is very strong. Whose atta also very strong too. These two are connecting. Whose atta is strong, whose mana, conceit also strong. It is in general. For that reason, the Buddha said, for those whose mind is overwhelmed by the conceit, I have no teaching for them. Okay? But as we noticed in the teachings of the Buddha, when the Buddha met with the person whose mind is overwhelmed with conceit, the Buddha make him humble first. Only after that, he explained the Dhamma. So if we have such ability, we can teach those whose mind is overwhelmed by the conceit. But now, the question is, the one who is conceited, it is not suitable to
Not easy for them to have mudita.
mudita.
Is that correct?
In general, it may be. But according to time and condition, it may not be true. Because associated mental factors, they could not arise together at the same time. Mana cannot arise together with compassion. Okay? Mana cannot arise together with the sympathetic joy. Those who are proud of themselves, it may be according to time and condition. But in another time and condition, they may be humble at the time. That's why, according to their attitude, according to their mindset, it can be improved. It can be changed. That's why those who are proud, even though they are proud of themselves very much, even though their conceit is very strong, due to their past barami, they also could practice meditation well too. So they could develop Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha when they are mindful. Out of the time they practice in meditation, whenever they speak, their conceit becomes very strong. Their atta becomes very strong. That's why people complain very much to such person. What is her Dhamma? What is her meditation? Don't do like this. Okay? So according to time and condition, people may change. That's why Dhamma is Dhamma, Adhamma is Adhamma. Okay? Don't mix together.
So then, how should a meditator establish right view and firm resolve on the path?
Right view and firm
Resolve. Determination on the path.
right view, samadhi, is seeing things as they really are. It is just for those who could develop concentration, as the Buddha said. The one who is concentrated knows to see the truth as they really are. Seeing the truth as they really are is attaining right view. Okay? So firm resolving. It is depending on perfection of resolving, adhitthana. Whatever we do, we should be determined on what we are doing. Whether small thing, whether big thing, whether meditation practice, whether other wholesome deeds, we must be determined on what we are doing. Only then we can also develop right view. Okay? Please stop today. Okay, we will share merits done today. Repeat after me. Idam me punyam asavakayam vaham hotu. Idam me punyam nibbanasa pacayo Hotu Mama Punya Bhagam Sabba Satanam Bhajemi Te Sabbe Me Samam Punya Bhagam Labantu Sadhu Sadhu